Hi, welcome. Good morning. This is Tanaj with Confident Grace. Thank you so much for joining me on my channel. We are knee deep in homeschool planning, homeschool prep. I don't know about you, but I have stuff covering the floor. There's stuff everywhere. It is chaos and mayhem up in here. So, as I'm pulling things together little by slow, I just wanted to share with you some of the tips, some of the tools that I will be using for the homeschool year, hopefully to survive it. Not just to survive, but to thrive, right? Like, who wants to just survive? But, side note, I'm holding this cup. It has my name on it. It's so pretty. This was purchased for me by a very good girlfriend of mine. But can I tell you, this is a Corksicle brand cup. This has been my best friend. This is a mom's best friend when it comes to keeping your coffee hot. Like, my coffee will be hot for hours and hours and hours, and I don't know if you're anything like me, but for one, I used to believe that coffee was supposed to be hot. Like, who wants cold coffee? Not me. I didn't want cold coffee. Cold coffee was disgusting. However, what I have found, since I've been home with my kids and I'm, homeschooling them now and all of that, that my coffee gets cold and then I have to go microwave it, and then I forget that I've even made a cup of coffee because I get distracted. So the struggle is real, and I have come to acquire the taste of cold coffee, because when your cup of coffee gets cold, it's a hot day, you just throw some ice in it, and it seems like it was intentional, right? It's really, really unfortunate, but I've figured out a way to make it work. However, this cup, I love, love, love this cup. If you don't have a Corksicle cup, this video is not sponsored. I love this cup, legit love this cup. Go check it out, for real. But to the intention of this video, I just wanted to share my crate system. And Christy Clover, the amazing Christy Clover, has what she calls her Clover crate system. And that system is phenomenal. When I first saw it, it blew my mind. I was like, duh, yeah, you need 36, file folders with file folders for each kid inside, and you just pull the work out and you send them on their way, and it's just so simple that it should work for everyone. I tried it, but it didn't work for me, and I was so sad. And let me not say it didn't work for me. I wasn't able to make the system work, because the system, it works, right? So I had this crate that I had purchased and all of this stuff to go inside, and I didn't want it to go to waste, and I found that I was using my crate to do other things. And if you hear noise in the background, it's street sweeping day here. So I had to figure out how to make this work, what was going to work for me. And being that this is, that time where I'm like, okay, I'm prepping, and how am I going to make life easy for me and for us? This crate was like staring at me. And so I needed to figure out what to do with it. And basically what I decided to do was, instead of making 36 weeks worth of schooling, and have that in here laid out, I just found that was making me feel a little bit too restricted, kind of like a very laid out homeschool planner. And so what I decided to do instead was, I know you can see behind me I have Calyx shelving, and I have Calyx shelving on the other side of my room, and they are full. There's 2 rows of books back here. The bookshelves are full. And so not necessarily having a space to keep like all of my teacher's manuals and all of the papers and all of this stuff, and not wanting to take up an entire cube for those things. And I also found that I was like, oh, I need to correct a paper. Let me go find the teacher's manual so that I can correct the paper. Well, it's for spelling, and which kid, and what shelf, and where is it. And it wasn't that I was unorganized, but it wasn't fast enough for me. The process wasn't streamlined enough for me. So this kind of solved that problem for me. This thing is really heavy, but it's on wheels. Love that. This solved the problem for me. So basically what I have here is every piece of curriculum that I need to teach my kids. Every teacher's manual, every guide, every test booklet, every worksheet, everything that I need for my kids this year is in this crate. And I so far love it. I love the idea of it. I haven't used it just yet, but I don't know why this wouldn't quite work. So in the front of the crate system, in the crate, I have my Happy Planner teacher planner. Who doesn't love a teacher planner? I do. I will go over this in another video. I'm still kind of working out the kinks of this and just kind of redoing it. It needed an overhaul and I'm repurposing some things. So as soon as I have this complete, I absolutely will share this with you. The other thing that I have here is instead of having a binder, binders don't turn back on themselves like notebooks do, and it takes up a lot of space. And I used to have a pink Need spiral note binder or notebook binder, whatever it was called. It wasn't spiral, it was three little loops, and I loved it. It was made for moms, for home management. It was amazing. And so I don't know where that went. I couldn't find it, so I ran out and I grabbed another one. This has all of my printed teachers' guides and manuals. So inside of here, there are the tabs, Avery tabs, and like morning time. I have poetry memorization, my daughter's curriculum, my son's literature curriculum, my student writing intensive, and anything else that I need to print out or that is printed out and not in a bound book will be put inside of this notebook, and it folds back on itself quite nicely actually, and flat, just like a spiral notebook. This is all the space it takes up, and I love this. So I'm really looking forward to using this year. I like that it's not spiraled or Happy Planner punched, so that I can put things in and out and return them to a binder if that's where I choose to store them long term. I love that, and I will probably do a close-up video of that as well at some point. The next thing I have in here is a file folder that is red. This file folder basically has it's a hanging file folder, so it has file folders, one for each of my kids. Inside of it, it needs to be relabeled, but this basically will be all of the papers that we need for our first day of school. So it'll be, you know, the About Me page, and any fun little things that I want them to have will go inside this folder. And it says Start on it. After that, there's a hanging file with my daughter's name, my youngest daughter, my kindergartner. And inside of this, there are 5 pocket folders, kind of like the OG peachy folders that we used to have back in the day. And she chose her colors, and I've labeled them with the day of the week in a coordinating color, because, you know, that's my thing. And she will basically pull one of these a day, and whatever work is in here is the work that she will need to complete, whether it's independently or with me. This is the things that are just done on the weekly basis. She will have on her desk a daily work folder, and that will be like her calendar work and stuff like that that she does that doesn't change. It's the same thing every single day. After that, we have my son's math hanging file folder. One of my teacher's manuals is in here. As you guys know, Rod and Staff has 2 teacher's manuals. Level 5 has 2 anyways, and so one of the 2 is in here, and when we get to the part 2, then I will swap them out. His tests are also in here, and so are his speed drills. The next thing that I have in here is a hanging folder that says grammar. It has both of our Fix-It Grammar teacher manuals in here. The beautiful thing about this is when you need to store these back on a shelf, you always have to close the book back. And, you know, maybe put a sticky tab in here or something like that to keep track of where you were. I can literally just open this up to where we are, leave it like this, and put it back in the file folder. I don't ever have to close it to store it and know that the pages inside will be safe. And I really, really love that idea. Up next in here we have, you know, Good and the Beautiful history, and the Big Book of History Stories is also in here. I just feel like it's more safe to keep it in here than in, you know, our morning basket. I also have the current science unit that we will be working on. We will be working on space science and arthropods this year with the Good and the Beautiful for my 5th grader and kindergartner, which I mentioned in another video. So this is the teacher's manual for the space science unit. And also in my hanging folder for science is my daughter, who's using general science, her solutions and test manual and her tests themselves, and that's in a separate folder that is labeled with her color and the title. And then after that, this whole back section is student pages. So any curriculum that I have that has student pages that need to be, you know, copied and handed out at the beginning of a lesson or whatever the case may be, I have pre-printed them, put them in file folders, labeled them with, you know, my kids' color, and everything that they need is in here. Now, again, I'm a little bit special. I decided to take the PDF and edit it in Adobe. So I added her name and her grade and the school year in her color on the front page of her worksheets. So when I go to store this at the end of the year, she will have that. I will know where it goes, what grade she was in, that she completed it, and, you know, all of that information. I've also done that for my son. For the history notebooking pages from the Good and the Beautiful, I did the same thing. I edited the copy, added her name and her color, did the same thing for my son, and added the school year. Everything, I did everything like that. Science, we'll be using the PAL program for my little girl from IEW, the writing and the reading. She'll be using MathUC. Some other work that she has in here that we're going to work on. So, like I said, everything that I need is in this crate. We also do what Pam Barnhill has called Yule School. At least I learned this from her website. But I have a red file folder or a hanging folder with green file folders in it. And basically, this is like all of our Christmassy activities and things like that. We take 2 weeks off in December, and the other 2 weeks we do work. I try to make it a little more fun, but still, you know, educational. So I will be putting that work as I come across things that I want to use inside of there, as well as our morning time plans will be in there until it's time for us to use them. Finally, in this folder is another red folder. This one says finish week 36. We actually have more than 36 weeks, but this is from the original setup. Inside of there is going to be the same kind of thing as the first folder, where it's got the end of the school year papers and the fun things that I want to do for the last couple days or last week of school. So this is it. Oh, last thing. So inside of this plastic little pocket here are all of the pieces for the space science unit. This is not my like long-term storage method, and I'm really just trying this out to see if it will work. But the poly zip envelopes that I store these in right now is just a little wide for this crate. So what I have done is I found one that fits, you know, in a notebook, and it just tucks nicely in the back of the crate system. So Like I said, everything that I have is here. Everything that I need is here. I love this. I love that I was able to find wheels, or that I had wheels that fit in the bottom, and it just wheels so beautifully. So anyways, if you have any questions, if you want to know anything further in detail about this particular system or process, or why I chose to do what I chose to do, leave me a comment down below. I hope you liked this video. I hope it was helpful to you. And if you're not subscribed, please do so and give the video a like. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.